Howdy ho, Lions fans. Before we do that, I want to give you a little bit of a taste of this.
Forward down the field, a Lions team that will not yield.
Feel it with me, baby. Can't be at the stadium. We can pretend.
You stand and cheer the brave.
Rah, rah, rah.
Hard win the game. With honor you will keep your fame. So down the field and gain a Lions victory.
Where's that from? Where is that from?
I'm not sure.
I'm toast.
Hey, howdy ho, Lions fans. Welcome to the Detroit Lions Podcast, episode 287. This is the official Detroit Lions podcast for Reddit. I am your dashing host, Chris, and we're doing it live with Andy, also known as Sandman. Andy, how you doing, brother?
I am good.
You're looking
Win
good.
Sunday.
Oh, God, it feels so good. Nobody expected it, myself included. There's a couple things I did predict, and I will be letting everyone know what I predicted, but oh baby, this is good. This is feeling good. Got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the game itself. We'll do a little round table with us. We'll take your calls. We got that, a whole lot more. Great show lined up. Andy, you ready to go, my man?
Ready as always.
Let's kick this off and break it down.
All right, a couple quick announcements. First, check us out and help us out on the Patreon. Very special thanks to Dylan from
What?
of course, our very first donor, Mathis, Brian B. from I Prevail. Gotta say hi to Mike Hodges as well, another Slack friend and Patreon giver. And Brian B. I said that. Brian Brookhiser, iprevailband.com. Check them out. Great stuff coming from them. All these folks, including the Riz, Andy, me, you, all the guys, hang out in the Slack. What is the Slack thing we talk about? It is the ultimate chat app. And we have an area dedicated just to the Detroit Lions, and we have the most intelligent Lions chat on the internet, period. If you thought you couldn't weather the storm, you should have gone there, because it was a beautiful place. There were some downtimes. We talked about some of the failures along the way, but it was good people with good respect and not the the horrifying bile you see everywhere else on the internet. You can get in for just as little as $1 a month donation. It helps keep the trolls out. Head on over to patreon.com/Detroit Lions podcast. Patreon.com/Detroit Lions podcast. You can give more than $1 if you'd like to help support the show. We use that to fund Senior Bowl, training camp parties, the Super Bowl party we're talking about this year, all that kind of stuff. All kinds of cool stuff. So help us out on Patreon. We thank everybody who does that. Sandman, you kill me every week. Thank you to Sandman on the chat. 14-2, baby. Just kidding, or am I? I am. Patreon.com/Detroit Lions podcast. You can join us in there. Also, hit us in the super chat. We appreciate that. That's a great way to do it. When we do the St. Jude thing, every penny from super chat will go to St. Jude. So be ready to, it's good to get signed up now. Hint, hint. So you can do it then. Also, give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/The Detroit Lions Podcast, Instagram, Detroit Lions Podcast, and on the Twitter machine at DET Lions Podcast. Give us a follow, DET Lions Podcast, the very best place to see the Sandman.
With no pants on.
That's right, no pants for sure today. Subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/Detroit Lions Podcast, youtube.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. Hit the bell so you get the notifications every time we go live. We're going live 3 times a week right now, and maybe more as things go crazy and get going and get moving here. So get in there, get subscribed. And those subscribers, actually, you, your friends, all your alternate accounts, if you do that subscription, that helps out a lot, actually, because in order to make sure every penny goes to the St. Jude charity and YouTube doesn't take any, you need a certain number of subscribers. So help us out there. That'll get us to make sure that they get all the money. Rate us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you find us. All right? Give us those 5 stars. Give us the love. If you don't want to give us 5 stars, you don't feel like you can, head over to subreddit, tell us why, and we were happy to talk about it there and figure it out and make it so that you can give us 5 stars, because those 5 stars, they're forever. All right. Let's get this going. We got all those things out of the way.
Tighten your chin straps, kids. It's time to review This Week in Reddit.
All right, it's time to talk about the fun and exciting things that went down in Reddit today. Nah, we'll just talk about the Slack. A lot of great chat. Great game. I don't think anybody saw this coming. Ladies and gentlemen, the Detroit Lions have beaten the Arizona Cardinals for their first win in 11 months and their first win of the season. And I have to say, it was a defensive performance that got us there. Andy, are you with me?
It was. Oddly
it was. I was thinking early in the game, when I was still absolutely sure we were going to lose, that after watching the Patriots game earlier, this defense actually looked like the Patriots defense today. I was like, God, they're not that far apart. We're getting stung on the corners. You rely on the corners so much, but we weren't, they were churning first downs, but then we didn't break, right? And I was like, okay, hold them to 3, hold them to a missed extra point. I don't know how you hold them to a missed extra point, whatever. Just work with me here. Go with it. The Germans bomb Pearl Harbor, forget about it, okay? No, but it was, I was looking at it and I was like, I see the significant. Now, had we lost, I had something to talk about, Andy, about this hope for next year, and I will still bring it out because Dwight Palmer brought this up in the YouTube chat, which you know about what you say about chat, right? In the articles, never, ever, ever read the chat. But I have to give Dwight some huge props here because he got my brain rolling a little bit. And there's something that no one has talked about yet. So I will break that out, but you got to hit the super chat because you get it out sooner that way. Also, we have the December-mometer ready for an update. It's updated already, so we'll share that on the show as well so you guys can see where things stand with the Detroit Lions so far this year. Andy, tell me everything you know about this game.
This game. Well, let me start with this. I am shocked. The offense that I expected to see today from the Cardinals is not the one that I saw.
No.
Very few Kyler Murray runs. I think he only had 2 or 3. And when he did it, they were very successful. I think Jeff Risdon brought it up on Twitter that Hopkins really didn't see that many targets.
No.
So it's kind of a wild game, to be honest. The 3 interceptions, super weird. I think I put week 1, over under on 4 interceptions for the year. So my under's looking bad. That's a bad bet now. but still a shocker. This team looked completely different. And it's hard to say whether it was our team making adjustments or whether it was the Cardinals shitting the bed.
Yeah.
But regardless, NFL win, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's also say, this is part of it. The Vikings lost again. And if you ever would have said, hey, after 3 games, we've got 1 win and we're ahead of the Vikings, people would have been like off the walls, bouncing off the walls, excited in August. If we could have predicted that much,
Ludicrously
right?
excited.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a whole different world, right? Got to give Psychedelic Bunk 313 some love. Not gonna lie, they played it safe, and I'm not complaining. Well done. Eat more chicken. Love me some Chick-fil-A. That was a good win. I'm going to say one thing. Friday, I predicted it, and I have to ball drag on this one, and I'm sorry, everyone. Jeff Okudah got his first interception against Kyler Murray. I just knew it was going to happen. He had the toughest assignment for a rookie, I swear, available in the NFL right now. For a rookie cornerback to go out there and have to play against Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins is insane, is absolutely insane.
It really is, and to be honest, Okudah still didn't look great. But we all have to keep in mind that rookie cornerbacks almost never look good. I think people have gotten used to Marshawn Lattimore's and Jalen Ramsey's. That's just not the case. I think that we can be excited that he was close enough in the hip pocket to get that interception. He made a couple good shed block tackles. And for the most part, we'll have to watch the All-22, obviously. But I didn't feel like Hopkins got half the amount of throws that he should have.
Right.
And it's hard to see live, but it may be that Okudah was doing enough to make Murray look elsewhere.
It could have been. A lot of times Okudah was out of position, right? He looked absolutely like a rookie playing against a wily vet. Kyler Murray has a year under his belt. And you put Murray and you put Hopkins against a rookie cornerback like Okudah, and the guy's typically going to have a bad day. He did really well. Swift had another. He got hit in the back. He didn't look for the ball. You could see in his face. I just hope he doesn't break. I'm worried about his ability to shake it off, because his eyes, his face after that play, he just did not look like he was going to be able to shake that off too quick, man. Go ahead. It's okay, rookie. Rookies make mistakes. It's okay. But this team played a game that was real NFL football against a team that made mistakes. But every team makes mistakes in the NFL. Every game. Rarely ever plays a perfect game. So,
and they were 2-0 coming into this.
Yeah. The Arizona this matchup was horrible for the Lions coming in. Absolutely the worst possible. Gotta yell out, Nicholas Sarna, thank you so much for the super chat. Never been a Patreon, but I've loved the show for 3 years. Good work, boys. Thank you, Nicholas. I'm telling you, the Slack is the place, man. If you want, it is an absolutely fabulous place to go. It is the most intelligent chat on the internet about the Detroit Lions, and maybe even rocket science. Seeing this, man, Patricia might be in some of those. No, it's absolutely a great place. People can disagree and whatever, and still have a great time and do it with respect. It's an awesome place. Matt LaFleur, thank you. Tell me about please tell me what this feeling is I'm experiencing. I don't know, but if it lasts for more than 4 hours, please see a doctor. All right.
Please, for the love of God, see a doctor. We don't need any more exploded penises. We've had enough of those.
All right.
Big problem.
Enough. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna bring up the December-mometer, if you don't mind, and then I think we'll get into.
This guy needs a, and I'm gonna find him and just give him a big.
Jay Stafford, thank you for the Patreon hit, Stafford. Really appreciate that, brother. We'll get you into the Slack right after. My script is broken and I gotta fix it. Thanks, brother. Really appreciate that. All right, so the December-mometer, I'm gonna pop that up really quick. It has been updated as a result of this game. Okay, still there on the clown. Still there with the clown face. This is not pure redemption, right? We haven't redeemed this team. Definitely not in the near miss of the playoffs area here, but this is an unexpected win, and it's bouncing back towards the middle. I feel like this is good. I don't feel like we are ready to hop in a tank just yet. Anything on the December-mometer from you, Andy, as you do your analysis?
I'm not ready to move any needles yet. I still am very down on this team as a whole. But games like today show that the Lions are still in it. They're still trying, and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to look at this win and say, we were one swift catch away from being 2-1,
yep.
Which is true.
Yep.
You can't argue that fact. But that being said, this game is a little closer than I would like it to be with a, +3 turnover ratio.
That's the bullshit.
I'm just teasing. I just wanted to use that one. It was you're totally cool. I just wanted to use that. Haven't used it in a while. No, you're not wrong at all, man. You're not even wrong. Again, we didn't expect this. What if this team pulls it off against New Orleans, though? What if we win another 3-point game, 4-point game, 2-point game against New Orleans next week? How do you think where are you going to be at then? I
think it's going to be a slow crawl. I think the team needs to show improvement, not just wins. Mm-hmm. Wins are the is-all, end-all of how your team is moving this year. That being said, I would like to see a little bit more solid offensive performance. Obviously Galladay was on a pitch count today, so I think that's going to change a little bit. Overall, I'd just like to see better play, and then we'll see. So if we get to 3-2, 4-2,
14-2,
that's when I think hope will be back on the menu for me.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm still down on our coaching staff as a whole. But we'll see. We'll get there.
What do you think? You think Coach Patricia's all up in Rothstein's face in the Dungeon of Doom right now? It might be early for that, right?
Fist deep.
You spend too much time with the other guys. Kerr, thank you, sir. 2-2 into the bye week. Chris said it. That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Thanks for that super chat, man. I tell you what, let's do this. I'm going to do one thing really quick, and then we'll get into the calls. Everyone, appreciate everyone dialing in. This isn't a therapy week. This is a celebration, guys. So we're here for you. If you want to be down, it's okay. We can talk about it, right? Because again, like Sandman said, and he's not wrong, we could be 2-1, but we are not. And this is a great win. Definitely something we want to carry with this team, but we'll see where we go. Okay, really quick, I want to tell you guys, you got the can't sleeps, the insomnia thing. I've had a little bit of that. I actually had some prescribed meds for that to help me out because I just wasn't sleeping enough. You need some recovery from a workout, or you just got generalized pain or whatever bothering you. You really should try CBD. CBD is something special. I didn't believe it until my mother-in-law needed it. And I've seen her get ripped off. She's fixed income. She's in a lot of pain, spinal stenosis, and some other things, and needed something to help with that. And I got to tell you guys, I decided I would take it first, help take a look at it, check it out, and I did, and I stand behind this 100%. This stuff is amazing, and now I buy it for her as well. CBD.DetroitLionsPodcast.com takes you out to Diamond CBD, and they've got high quality, real good stuff. Now, I just got some of these, and I want to show you guys these really quick. These are and I got to get my face out of it so it focuses on it. Chill. These are part of the Delta 8. And I'll hit your super chats in a bit. These are part of the Delta 8 line that they just launched. These things, I'm not even joking, they come with a warning label on the top. And when I got them, the guy from Diamond told me, look, don't plan on doing a whole lot other than chilling for about 2-3 hours afterwards, because these things are really, really potent. Only 1 or 2 of those squares. I had 1 square, and he wasn't kidding. I didn't even get up to go to the bathroom for 3 hours. I was just sitting there watching TV, kind of just chillax. Didn't feel a thing. You're not high, right? You still have all your faculties about you. It's great stuff. If you have any of those issues and you're wanting to try out CBD, I tell you, CBD.DetroitLionsPodcast.com. They give you a kickback, and it'll take you right to the site. They just give us a kickback for what you do, and it lets them know that we sent you there. CBD.DetroitLionsPodcast.com if you want to try it out. All right, that's it. Let's open up the phones. Let's get to this and get you guys going. It's 248-782-8384, 248-782-8384. We'll take your calls as we wait for the first one to come in. I want to catch back up on some of these super chats. The first one is from Neil Jones. Today just got better. Dallas lost. Thank you for the. You got to turn down your radio there, caller. That was Dallas lost. Thank you, Neil, for the super chat. Yeah, 1 second, man. We'll be right with you. Just got to call some of these super chats. We got to catch up. We're a little behind. Dallas lost. That's huge. Love Dallas. Losing Psychedelic Monk. Awesome. Thank you for joining the Patreon. We got you. We'll get you hooked up here in just a second on the after the show on the Slack chat. And Matt, thank you again, buddy. The new defensive game plan is 8 interceptions per game, and we will win everything. All right, caller, what's your name? If you can, turn down the volume on our show a little bit in the background because it's feeding back into your phone.
How's it going,
Good.
Chris?
How you doing, brother? How much have you had to drink? What's your name?
I'm good, thank you, brother. My name's Daniel. You can call me D, though. All my friends call me D.
All right, D. How you doing, brother? Give me something good. It's a win
I'm
day.
good. I'm good. It's a win day. I'm feeling good. Check this out. What do you guys think? Matthew Stafford, man, he's been looking really, really off. Could it be the preseason rust? I mean, what is going on there?
Sam, man, you want to take it first?
Yeah, he had a couple off throws today. I don't think today was a bad performance by any stretch. I do think that, when you're playing with guys that haven't practiced or haven't played in a while, it's hard to be quarterback when the timing is off. We had a couple throws today where Amendola kept running when Stafford threw it behind him. You can argue that Stafford thought he should have sat down in the zone based on how that play worked. There was a couple with Galladay that they just looked off. I'm not ready to put Stafford in a he's playing bad, station yet, but he's definitely looked off on a few throws, like sporadically.
Yeah.
I think if he starts to do that all the time, then I'm going to start to get a little bit more concerned. But it's hard to say, with this off season being as weird as it has been.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to be a little harder on him, not because I've said it. I would take a bullet for Matthew Stafford. I love this guy and everything he does for the team, but he, we've talked about shaking the rust off. It's not off. I had a tweet earlier tonight where I said I'm really glad Kenny Galladay can catch just about anything thrown at him because he was all over. Every ounce of his wingspan was used on that field today with Matthew throwing the balls, and he caught him like a champ, right? I mean, Kenny Galladay out there was a champ pulling badly thrown balls. I deleted the tweet because it auto-corrected to Kenny Gladys. And I just couldn't do that to Kenny. I just couldn't do it.
I mean, that's not a bad name for our wide receiver group. Kenny and the Pips. Good.
Well, you got Kevin, you got Kenny, you got Marvin, right? I mean, he heard it through the grapevine. We could probably do some Motown something in there. Kenny and the Pips. But yeah, no, I think Matthew is having problems. I think he is. His ball is not on point like it is usually. A lot of really, really, really good stuff happened, and it wasn't because of Matthew Stafford. The defense helped him and the offense a lot. I think Andy's nailed it with Kenny just coming back for the first time. That's probably part of the reason he needed his full wingspan. The timing's off between them a little bit. They need some more practice time together to work that out. But I'm gonna go on a little limb because it's only one win, right? But if this trajectory holds, if this trajectory is true, I like where the team is going. I need more data points. I need a win or a really, really, really competitive game against New Orleans next week. Yeah, just to show me that there's true improvement on this team, right? But the trend right now is good. I like the trend, and hopefully it continues.
Yeah. Do you know why, though? I mean, if you looked at the game today, this looked like a completely different team, the coaching staff. I mean, they made decisions that they haven't really made the first two games, right? I mean, did you look at some of the way the defense played? It wasn't the same defense that we've been seeing.
How about that challenge early that they could have kept them Arizona at 2, right? And rather they got it at 25. Were you like, here we go again at that point, D?
I was.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, so was I.
We're all there. Yeah.
It took.
I was scared.
Yeah, it took till a minute left where I really believed that we could win this game. I'll be 100% honest. As a longtime Lions watcher, I was very, very, very cynical. And once that happened, I felt a heck of a lot better. Is that they had that one timeout left. We got that first down. It was good time.
Is it just me, or did you not see Jared Davis out there all game?
If he was out there, he didn't do anything.
he was out there a little bit, but yeah, he didn't make any major, contributions.
Mistakes.
Yeah, well, that too. I guess that's one way to put it.
D, you're funny. Hey D, the phone's like blasting off, man. I'm gonna let you go, but thanks so much for listening. Thanks for calling in, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, D.
All right, you guys. Thank you. Love the show.
Oh, thanks, man. Be good. All right. Big thanks out to Brett Kuzno, who's been a longtime friend and helper at St. Jude last year, some other stuff as well. Patricia just extended his pink slip until Thanksgiving. That's what the December-mometer is all about. Meaningful games in December. We'll pop that back up there, and we will add in a caller. Hey, caller, what's your name? How many have you had?
What's up, man? This is Chris. I've had way too much to count.
It definitely sounds like your name should be Chris.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Just avoiding the seltzers. You know what I mean? IPAs only. Right?
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. I used to make IPA actually. I should one day, if maybe in the off season when it's a little slower, I'll show. I got a 15-gallon brew system where I do all kinds of great IPAs on my own. But
I got a 5-gallon hazy IPA going right now.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
I'm about to get it brewed this next weekend.
Yeah.
Yep.
The seltzers were a big effort to try to be less fat.
100%. We're going to see how my seltzer turns out. I got a lime raspberry brewing right now. We'll see how that goes. Hey.
Nice. All right, man. So how we doing today? How you feel?
Dude, I feel great. Honestly, Cardinals are a great team.
Mm-hmm.
They are insanely good. Kyler Murray held him in check. Yeah.
Yep.
Galladay, maybe a little bit. We spotted him, right?
Yeah.
Okudah, great game. Crazy, man. Honestly, I'm in Indiana, so trying to stream the game via not the most
opportunities.
I guess,
Yeah.
greatest measures, but I got the game on, and dude, honestly, watching it, I don't know, man. They're looking all right. Cardinals are a good team, and pulling out the win, yeah, I feel good. If they can go 2-2 before the bye, and maybe, I don't know, but I definitely was not happy with 0-2. I don't know.
Nope.
1-2, maybe a little better. I don't know.
1-2 is better.
1-2 is better. 1-2 is better. You know, I definitely think that this game feels different. I'm gonna have to rewatch it because I rewatch all games, and it's been painful for 11 weeks in a row. But
I mean, a little
that
bit
being
sober,
said,
I'll rewatch the game. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. But this game, you're right. It felt a little different. It felt like a more team-centric win since maybe the Patriots game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, way back when.
Yeah.
You know, where the defense and the offense kind of
played
worked
football
together. You know, neither of
They
them
gelled, right? They were doing their thing, right?
Yeah.
It felt this was a team win. Is really what it was. So it's hard to be upset about a team win, and it's exciting to see a team win because in the past it's always been, the offense had to carry us back from the brink of extinction, or you know, the defense has done nothing all game, and we're on the edge of our seats because all it takes is the offense to falter on one drive, and then it's over. You know, this game felt
right.
good.
It didn't fall apart. They each phase of the game held their shit. Like even John Fox, like McCray with that punt. Like I was telling my brother, he lives in St. Clair Shores. I was telling my brother, like, man, it sucks that the only thing we got is John Fox. Like, and McCray mucked that up. Like, damn, McCray. Like, if you could just get him at the 2, like, why'd you have to step in the end zone, kind of thing.
Jack Fox put this team on his back and carried.
Dude, he is solid, man. Who needs Sam Martin,
he better get all Pro votes.
We don't need Sam Martin.
That's no joke.
Yeah, he's got to
Fox,
make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, it looks good, but again, it's a 4:00 game, so I had 3 hours to get drunk. So it's like, why can't you be a 1:00 game where I can be sober and watch this? Like, why do I have to get drunk to watch you?
Blame the clock.
But no, they look good. I mean, there's a W in the win box. I mean, that's all you need, right?
That's right.
That's all you need. You know what,
I mean,
Chris?
The Saints,
we need the X-Files theme right now.
Okay.
Lions undefeated 4:00 games.
God.
Lions undefeated for what?
4:00 games.
Oh my God.
We need to play all of our games at 4:00. That's the new thing.
Well, hold on. Who did the Saints though? What time do they play the Saints?
Probably 1:00.
Where's the tinfoil?
Let's be honest.
Listen, I'm hoping the Patriots. Like honestly, I'm rooting for the Packers. Unfortunately, if they can blow out the Saints, maybe the Saints are defeated. Like they just feel bad coming in the next week, and we go ahead and take them also.
The Saints had a tough game last week. And so that's why I'm
Dude,
really
I put
interested in
a lot
this
of money
game.
on the Raiders winning this week. I know. I get it.
It's Sunday night. There's a lot of variables, obviously, week to week. But seeing how the Packers play and how the Saints do against the Packers will be interesting. Now, that's not to say that if the Saints beat the Packers, that's not to say that we're gonna, that they're gonna obviously absolutely kill us for sure. But it might happen. But the other side of it is if we beat them, that tells us a little bit about our team and how it's grown and changed as well, right? You start trying to do equivalencies and stuff like that. It's an interesting game tonight.
The Cardinals. The Cardinals are the textbook new NFL, right?
Yep.
You got your quarterback that can rush and run for 100 yards a game. And, I mean, we held him in check. I mean, there was a few times he got away, but for the most part, I feel like we shut him down. Like, Kyler Murray is, I mean, as long as you hold, like, Kyler Murray and Drew Brees, same people. I mean, they're about the same height. Like, when it comes down to it, they're about the same. Like, if you keep him in the pocket, like your guys' pregame, if you keep him in the pocket, he will make mistakes because you can't see over a 6'5" offensive lineman.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he did.
Drew Brees in the pocket. We might be 2-2 coming in.
Other than those designed runs, he did not escape much today. I mean, the Lions defense did a very, very, very good job, and that's kind of where I saw a little bit. Look, the cover wasn't at Patriots level coverage. Okay, I'm not gonna intimate that, but I saw you really, if you watch the Patriots game today, which was a little bit of a snoozer.
I did,
but it was fun to watch. The defenses look very similar.
McCourty was in there on a few hits. I mean, I watched a few things. I mean, their defense is so much better than Matt Patricia's like Patriots light. I mean, he's not great.
But you see what they're doing. You see what they're doing there, and you see it starting to like this game. I saw it the best I've seen it. You've got a rookie corner, right? You've got some other things working against you in that regard, but I can see it. I can see it starting to come.
Fire tonight, man. Yeah. I mean, did DeAndre Hopkins even score tonight? I don't think so.
No. That's why his mom wasn't in the front row. She knew he wasn't scoring.
Jeez. I mean, did
on his
he
mom,
catch
right?
11 passes? Because that's what he's averaging. I don't think he caught 11 passes either. No. Dude, Okudah was lighting people up, though.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe this is like a little glimmer of what we could see. This sucks. Like, honestly, like 3 games in, you're hoping this is it. But
we'll see. We'll see.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's another 3-11 in one season or whatever it was. But
all right, Chris.
But this is promising.
Yes, we're gonna go. People are like banging on the door. Like, I don't know.
Crazy. For sure. I'm glad I got in. Hey, you
thanks,
guys,
Chris.
Have a good night.
Take
your call.
Yeah, thanks. We'll see you, man.
All right, bye.
See ya.
Yep.
All right, let's see. Get that going. Okay. Woo! All right, Jamie Johnson, thank you so much. I like to share when we win. He says, and buddy, I hope we win forever because I like when you share. All right, let's get this going. We got another caller. Hey, caller, what's your name and how much have you had to drink so far?
Oh, I've had a good amount so far.
I like this so far.
Yep, yeah.
It's 3 more hours of
about
football.
5 beers throughout the game, and then I have some weird concoction of apple cider and caramel vodka, and who gives a shit? You know how it is.
Welcome to fall, my friend.
Oh yeah. Oh, Lions fans, right?
Yeah. What do you got, man? Where you at after this game?
So Jeff Okudah. So he started out the game getting burned, right?
Yeah.
But as it kind of went on, he kind of started demonstrating, that good, like the instinct, right? Like, dude looks like he might just be legit after a short period of time. Like, I don't know what you guys saw, but what I saw was when he was in there, we were fine. When he left out for a couple series, we kind of were hung out to dry.
Yeah.
I think that Okudah's problem is not his instincts or his speed. I think it's literally the fact that he just hasn't gotten ready for the NFL as much as most guys, have time to.
Yeah.
The NFL is faster. Everybody's stronger. The guys are more savvy. The route running's better. You can't just be physically better than the guy across from you and win in the NFL. And I think that he showed some of that today, that he was aware of that, and that he was still using his instincts the way that he needs to. My house is collapsing above my head. But, you know, like the interception was fantastic. That was a perfect Jeff Okudah play. That's the player we drafted. Him shedding the tackle, making the tackle that everyone's going to talk about later this week. That's the Jeff Okudah that we drafted. You know, while I think he had a good game for a rookie, I don't think it was necessarily a fantastic game for a cornerback.
Right.
But at the same time, he's facing off with arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL right now. And, you know, I'm going to be happy any game that he competes in until he gets to year 2 or 3, which is when I really expect to see some big things.
He was a bit handsy out there. We saw he did get called for at one time. We had a mic inside his helmet and caught a little bit
touching me, touching you.
A little bit what was going on there. So
I almost threw up.
I just got to bring a little bit of case in. No. Okudah's looking good. I think he's a good pick. That missing the preseason, Andy nailed it. Sam Ends, he's got that thing nailed. We have a preseason. That guy's a heck of a lot better right now. I think the whole team's a heck of a lot better without a preseason or with a preseason. I think they needed it more than maybe other teams did. Again, the trend right now, I like it. We need a couple more dots to draw the right line in the right direction, though. So good stuff. So great to see what he did out there, though. Today as a rookie.
Right.
Go ahead, brother.
So the other thing I was thinking is just looking at, you know, we've given Matt Patricia a lot of crap in the last couple of weeks because, you know, lack of adjustments and everything. But, you know, everything we've complained about of lack of pressure. Yes, we're not hitting with the pressure, but at least they're trying now. And I think against a team that's so hyped like the Arizona Cardinals with Kyler Murray, we were at least getting close. Yes, he had to throw away early, but I mean, we caught 3 interceptions against one of the like poster boys of the NFL right now with a new style.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to let Andy answer. Sorry, and then I'm going to bounce. Just get the call off because we got millions coming in, man. Okay.
So let me say that while watching this game, I still saw Patricia's defense. So while they blitzed, it was a blitz, but guys didn't get out of their lanes while blitzing.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about a get to the quarterback blitz. The blitzes I saw today were pressure the quarterback, get to him if you can, but if you can't, stay in your lane so that he doesn't run past you for 30 yards, which worked. You know, that's kind of what Matt Patricia has been trying to do here for the whole time. I think he's been trying to contain on quarterbacks, pressure them enough that they feel their internal clock ticking and throw the ball before they want to or make mistakes. And this is one of the few games where it seemed to work well for them. And, you know, the 3 interceptions are a part of that. Should have been 4 interceptions when we were really talking about it. Harmon should have had 2.
Yeah.
He just dropped 1.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
You know, I think Kyler Murray got shook a little bit. You know, he saw the blitz coming regardless of if it was going to get home or not. It impacted him. Jamie Collins whacked him on the arm during the first interception. You know, so I think it's progress that they're attempting to do more of that. And I guess we'll see if they continue that or if that was a one-off just game plan for the Cardinals.
For real. I think as in the chat, Jim Young, superstar as he's known, did we show the formula to expose the Cardinals again this year? I think it did. I think we did. I think that in-lane blitz is part of it. The cover contain is absolutely the way you keep someone like Kyler Murray in check, and the way those blitzes were stay in your lane, it was important because that helps with the containment, right? You're sealing along the way, whatever side of that blitz is on, is he's contained that way, and you've shortened the amount of containment you have on him. Really liked what we did, liked it a lot. Also, combat sack, gotta say, huge thing that he brought up in the chat. Don't worry about Okudah, he'll be sweet. Hawkinson pick is great. Let's talk our Warrior, absolute star. He was a stud out there today. Amani just blasted it. We have a caller. What's your name? How many have you had?
My name's Jeff. I'm from Grand Rapids, and I just popped one.
Good.
Anyway.
Good job, Jeff. How you doing, man?
All right. I'm fine. Lime raspberry IPA. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around that one.
Good luck, my friend.
Anyway, I am ecstatic about the win. But I'm going with Sandman on this one. I still see a little too many the Penguin. I'm seeing this as a win despite the coaching staff, as opposed to, and I'll tell you what, Stafford, yeah, it wasn't his best game, but for Christ's sake, it was a pretty damn good game. I mean, you read the stat line, and the guy did a pretty damn good job. And yeah, I still think he's shaking off a bunch of rust, but at the end of the day, it's like, for crying out loud, midway through the third friggin' quarter, it's like, let's take the foot off the gas. I mean, hey, we're only up by 3, which means we just have to run the ball 2 times, throw on third down, and that's the part that I'm irritated with. I mean, I appreciate that, the fact that I appreciate a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very appreciative human being. But God damn it, I want to see Sam Weiss football eventually.
I'm not going to disagree with you. Like I said, it feels good. It's absolutely worthwhile celebrating the moment, and enjoying the moment. But we need more. We need to see those dots connect and make the line in the right direction if we're going to chart it. I got a super chat asking, is the beer you're drinking right now from Elks Brewing?
Negative. This one is from Bell's. I am drinking a 16-ounce Two-Hearted.
Ooh, wow. Okay, excellent stuff. All right. OLine, we're going to talk about that a little bit. Jack, I'm going to let you fly, man. Love you too, bud.
Man, you're my spirit animal, bitch. Love you. Bye.
Have a good one.
Let's see. Yeah, no, RORA was killer out there. Was absolutely killer. OLine played today. Vitae might need to sit behind Crosby. I don't care how much you pay him, right? Let's face it. And maybe we got a better the D line over there in Arizona is better than everyone we've played so far. I don't know, against the Smith brothers, right, in Green Bay. It's just Vitae didn't. I mean, that long ball to Hall, the touchdown, the hold on Vitae. I was angry because the streaming Sunday Ticket doesn't let you go backwards to rewatch, and I never got a replay on that hold, so I don't know how real that hold really was. It's the Lions. I believe it. I trust it. It's whatever.
It was real enough.
Okay.
Yeah, it was real enough. It's a weird thing, right? So when it came out on earlier before the game that he was going to be playing right guard and not right tackle, it was an odd choice. He hasn't practiced there with us.
Mm-hmm.
He played there sparingly with the Ravens, I think. Really seemed like a weird place to put him, and he looked awful there.
Yep.
He looked awful. You could tell when he was standing up to get out of his stance, he would stand up awkwardly. It would take too long. The defensive tackles were getting right up in his chest, and then he was having to recover.
Mm-hmm.
He had a couple good reps, but man, he had a couple real stinkers.
Yeah.
He gave up the 2 sacks, had the holding call. There was a couple, close sacks or close blow-ups that, weren't shown up. It's a little nerve-wracking, I guess. I guess we can be happy that, our backups are all right, good enough.
Do you think?
But I don't know if he's going to play there permanently, and if he does, he's going to have to get way better fast.
Do you think the Galaxy Brain this year from Patricia on the O-line is going to, instead of rotating the guards in and out, is going to be rotating the guys between guard and tackle?
Well, I made the tweet. I said they're going to rotate him between guard, tackle, and injured.
Ouch.
So
I think you just injured me with that.
That's his role, yeah.
Tony makes a good point. That hold did save us. Otherwise, the Cards had 2 minutes left with the ball. I feel like the defense played really well today, but I hate us always with defending against 2 minutes. We've never ever since before I started watching football been good in defending against the 2 minute drill. So there we are. All right, let's see what we got going on here. No caller. I thought I had a caller. Well, he rolled off himself. So we're looking good. Let's go ahead and 248-782-8384. We'll take your calls. We'll keep going. Got another one here. Hey caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink so far?
I have had nothing to drink yet, but my wife, amazing wife, was in Indiana today and got me a 12-pack of Yingling to drink.
Oh, nice. Right. I gotta tell you, I enjoy Yingling as a great summertime beer. It's not one of the all-time best beers at all, but boy, like if you're mowing the lawn or bouncing around, it's a great beer. I mean,
for for the price, it's my favorite at that price level.
Yeah,
for sure.
For
and
sure.
I don't get it very often because I live in Grand Rapids. So, but thankfully my wife has family that lives in Niles, so they can just jog across the border and get some now.
Nice.
That's pretty awesome.
Were they able to avoid the revenuers on the way?
Right.
Sorry, I'm Snuffy Smith over here, right? You're talking old school. Like 3% of the audience understood what I said. All right, what do you got for us, bud? Besides great Yingling stories.
I am. I'm still not sold on this team. I'm still not sold on keeping Patricia hired. I still want them fired for the bye week. We won the game, but we also struggled against a quarterback that threw 3 interceptions and got benched. I mean, it was a Caldwell quality win.
Yeah.
And we've seen this from Patricia before. I just, and I'm not totally fire him now because I want to see what they do next week against the Saints. And in my opinion, if they beat the Saints next week and it's a convincing win where there isn't a big asterisk like Drew Brees or Alvin Kamara went out of the game hurt in the first quarter or something stupid like that, and if they pull off a quality win, if I see them play better than I played today, then I'm on board with Patricia being here the rest of the year. But I really, if they regress next week, I really think they got to be gone.
Okay, that's fair. I still think November 1st is the magic date. I really do. I think because that's where I think the record is going to be unrecoverable. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Sure.
And I don't think you're wrong, right? But I think the bar for the minimum record this year has gone up. After the first 2 games of this season, the bar, if a lot of people said maybe 7-9 will get them in, I don't think 7-9 gives them a chance at all anymore. I'm not sure 8-8 gives them a chance anymore.
And you could make the argument, with no preseason, with all this COVID thing, that maybe we were going to kick it into this gear. We were going to kick it into gear earlier if we did have those things to prepare for. But I'm just not prepared to believe that yet. I'm not totally unsold about it, but I'm still very cautiously, very more unoptimistic than optimistic, I should say.
For sure. I will tell you, I've got and so if your world, I don't want to say it's your world, but if they don't pan out this year and they go right, I've got the best news ever, I think, for Lions fans, and it's a historical precedent that we can really hang our hat on. I've been really down on what's going to happen after Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn are gone, but I've got a story to tell some folks, and I'm going to do it here shortly. Maybe 1 or 2 more super chats will pry it out of me to be that jerk, right? But no, I got something. This is really good, and I think people are going to be gonna really like what they hear. Dwight Palmer, I have to credit him again because he blew my mind and opened my eyes with that. So we'll talk about that. Okay. Jamie, and I will tell you where you're wrong with your 8-8 with the rebuild in 2021 out of the chat. All right. Hey, caller, gonna go. We got a bunch of people coming. We want to get them in. Last time we went so long, Aunt Sam didn't get his laundry done, and Monday was a wreck. So we got to get rolling. All right, bud?
Sounds good. Have a good night.
All right. Thanks for calling. All right.
I only have 3 shirts to wash, but it takes me a long time.
Down by the river, it's tough to get this stuff clean, my friend. All right. Hey, caller, what's your name, and how many have you had so far?
Oh, it's Joe B. I you know what? I can't drink tonight because I got to work.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
That pains me.
Oh,
but sorry. Just when I thought that things couldn't get any worse, the Lions go out and completely redeem themselves.
Nice to hear after the Jeff Daniels Blues pregame show.
Oh my God,
hey,
it is Sir Mix-a-Lot
to get in there.
I can't believe it. Yeah, no, this is something that nobody expected. Nobody expected. I had the December-mometer already set up for a loss. I had in between the end of the game when we got started here, I had to readjust it for the win and the better record. We're still in clown, right? We're still in clown.
Hey, Patricia still made mistakes that game.
Yep,
he did. He should have challenged that punt at the very beginning.
Yep,
that cost us a touchdown. They could have been down at the 2. and I completely think that we could have reestablished ourselves. He reestablished himself and got back at that too, and that would have set him up with some really bad field position. Instead, it cost us a touchdown to Andy Isabella full drive. Special teams, I want to give a shout out to the special teams.
Yeah,
Jamal Agnew, he made some good returns. I still like that Jack Fox dude. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We found one, guys. We found one.
We really did.
One of the rare ones.
You know, and it's wild. I feel like the Lions have had a good special teams unit my entire life. They had the 1 year, 2014, where we had the bad kicking game. And then we got arguably, you know, another great kicker. You know, Sam Martin was good while he was here, but man, I'm telling you what, Fox is looking like the real deal. It's wild.
I just watched Aaron Rodgers take a sack.
Don Muehlbach keeping that special teams in check.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
Yeah. So, what's his name?
He's got like a Lazarus pit. He's just like staying alive. It's a miracle.
What do you guys think about Stafford doing what he's been doing, what he did 2 years ago with overthrowing the balls like by 3 or 4 yards? I mean, is that still rust or what?
That was not the Matthew Stafford I'm expecting to see playing for the Detroit Red Wings. Detroit Lions. I'm doing two things at once.
I don't expect to see him playing for the Detroit Red Wings either.
Yeah.
But can you imagine that shot? Boy, God.
Yeah, right.
God, I'm terrible.
We'd have a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, no. I expected more out of him. Again, hopefully it's a timing thing. We look at the team, we say the one thing about saying, hey, if it was the preseason and that's it and it's going to take that to get better, then we expect him to get better. New Orleans has been looking, from the little glimpses I've gotten here, looking pretty good against Green Bay, their defense. It'll be interesting to see how our O-line holds up against them, halfway through the first.
His pre-snap reads are looking good, though.
Yeah,
his pre-snap reads are looking great.
Yep.
This game, I can tell you that his pre-snap reads were on point.
He knows what he wants to do. His brain and his eyes and everything else seem to be perfectly into the game. It's his body that doesn't seem to be doing what he wants it, and what he's used to it doing. And that's always, when you see that happen to a football player, you always worry about that lost step. You worry about the effect of that injury and coming back. I hope it's just rust shaking off, and he's going to be the guy we know. Look, after the bye, when we saw the beginning of this schedule, there's a lot of people that said we're 1-3 after the bye, or up at the bye, right? And August 15th of this year, people said, look, we're running the gauntlet here, the first 4 games of the season. We got New Orleans, we got Green Bay, we got Arizona. We're going to be 1-3, and then things will pan out from there. We're looking like 1-3, right? We thought maybe we could steal one, be 2-2. I'm not writing the epitaph yet after this win, but like we keep saying, we need to see the progression forward with this team. I'll say the other thing you talked about.
This team has looked the same the past 3 games, except for the difference between this game and the past 2 is that we played 4 quarters.
Yeah.
The first game we played 3 quarters. In the second game we played 1 quarter. The third game we
put together
3 + 1 = 4.
Well, and it was all phases of the ball that we played, right? The defense actually showed up, and the offense was probably the one that was lacking this year. But we put points on the board. Let's not get too down on Matthew and his performance. We did put points on the board. It's not what we're used to, and we expect more out of this offense. If that clicks and we can see this offense every week, I feel like we've got a chance against anybody.
And, we also have to keep in mind... As long as you
don't have Holy Poopy Vitae in there. Holy Poopy Vitae is horrible, man.
It's his first game. I'm going to give him... I don't want to give him a pass.
I'm not going to give him that. He's been in the league for, 5-6 years?
Mm-hmm. But we also have to keep in mind with Stafford, and I think this will keep, coming up probably. But, he missed a long time of football. Like, we're not talking about an off season and COVID or whatever. We're talking about, a year plus of him missing games and missing being able to play. A back injury isn't like a bad knee where you can still toss the ball around. It's a back is a real big problem. So, I think he looks okay for a guy that hasn't played football in a long time and only has a few games and a few practices under his belt. So I'm hopeful that things will improve, but time will tell.
Yeah. All right, hey brother, we're gonna let you go.
I can see his face. Oh, one more thing. I can see Stafford's face after his throws, and when he's on point, you see that that Stafford smile. But when he misses a throw and he knows that throw is going to be missed, you see him kind of cringe a little bit. So he knows as he's throwing the ball whether it's going to be a good throw or not.
Yep.
And those ones that he overthrew by like 3-4 yards, you could see that little Stafford cringe. But you know what, guys? Take care. I'm working tonight. I got to get some sleep. But go Lions. They totally redeemed themselves today, in my opinion.
All right.
Thanks for calling in.
All right, brother. Be good. All right. Let's see. Really quick, I got to say, hey, Loretto Martin, thanks for the super chat. IPA beer tastes like crap. Just add more hops. I'll tell you, that's how most of the craft brewers get started, is making IPA, because adding hops can cover flavor problems. And IPAs cover up a lot of process issues in making beer. So they always start with the IPA in a brand new brewery these days, because it does sell a lot. They can cover up their flaws. They can get their process and make, start regaining some of the expense of starting a brewery. And they trim their process down, get that thing locked in, and start offering up a lot of the other stuff. That's the reality of the IPA. All right, with that, let's see. Got to say really quick, in the chat, one of our guys just had, he didn't, but his wife Katie had a brand new baby. Congratulations to Greg and Katie for the little one. He's been Patreon since like day 2. Greg, really, really cool. It's the first baby. Beautiful little baby. So they had nice little pictures up and everything else. So congratulations, Greg and Katie. Got a caller really quick. Got to say thanks to Nick Rodriguez for the kids and the win. How you guys feel about Peterson after 3 games? Enjoy the podcast very much. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate the super chat. Yeah, Adrian still got it. Still got it. All right.
It is weird how they seem to get a lot of rushing yards in the first half, and then it just nose dives off.
Right off.
You got like 66 yards in the first half and ended up with 76 or something like that. 75.
Another super chat. Okay, I'll get with you in 1 second, caller. Michael Hawley, thank you so much for the super chat. Go Lions. Remember to hit up the DLP website and click the Fanatics link. That's right, my friend. He snagged a gray Stafford jersey, and we got the W. That's it. I mean, I told you guys, use that link or buy the Hockamania shirt off of the site, the merch part of on our website at DetroitLionsPodcast.com, and we'll get the win every time. Caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink so far?
Hey, Chris, this is Brett the Coos-No.
Coos! How you doing, brother?
Good. I've had surprisingly less to drink than usually during Lions losses. I did not pop out of superstition. I did not pop one until kickoff. So
sure, good.
And then the game was very, very close the whole way, so I did not overindulge. So honestly, I had 2 quick points to make. The first one I did want to say, and I agree with Sandman, and I agree with some of the other callers, that the team is still suspicious, but that's Monday shit. Today's Victory Sunday.
That's right. That is absolutely right, my friend. Coos, if you ever listen to Coos, this is the time. This is Victory Sunday.
The only other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to levy an accusation at Sandman, because I think he's the one that emailed Bethel and reminded him that Jesse James still plays for this team.
How about Jesse James?
I send a lot of emails. I'm that guy. They're like, this son of a bitch. I've spent $400 in stamps in the past month because they started blocking my emails. I was getting return to senders in my emails.
I told my kid today, I think he just made about $16 million per touchdown and about 4 per reception. So
it's a real good deal for James for sure.
Yeah, it's going well.
Hey, come on, he had a good game today.
He showed up.
He
showed up.
This is the long game, right? It's the whole. No one's expecting that, right?
Yeah, nobody expects. They just leave Jesse James to do whatever he wants. Who cares about that guy? When he does get the ball thrown to him, he drops it half the time.
Every time he's on the field, it's like, why is the offense playing 10? The defense loves it, right?
I had to look at my kid after his first reception. I said, who the hell is that? He's like, Jesse James. I'm like, Are you kidding?
83? That's not even a number on the roster.
Linemen can't wear 83.
And these Lions jersey numbers suck. That looks like an 83, but I'm sure it's something else.
But I know you guys got a ton of callers. I just wanted to quip a little bit, just celebrate with you guys, and remind everybody that it is Victory Sunday. Freaking let's go, roll Lions!
All right, man. Thanks so much. Really appreciate the call.
Thanks, Brett.
All right, see you guys.
All right. Really quick, I'm gonna hit one of these things because we can. St. Jude. Okay, big announcement. I promised a big announcement about St. Jude. I'm gonna give you guys that really quick. We're getting the band back together. This is really, 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 really big. At least for me, and I think for a lot of people, it will be. Dan Miller, Jim Brandstatter, and Tony Ortiz have all agreed to come together again. They used to be the Lions radio crew. They did, play-by-play, color, and sideline reporter. All three of them are coming together at our St. Jude podcast-a-thon, our 24-hour podcast on November 6th. They were going to be raising money for St. Jude to kick off our month of Christmas for the kids. A lot going on there. The band is getting back together. Three of the greatest broadcasters in Detroit Lions history are all coming, and they're going to give us some behind-the-scenes stories from their travels. Tony already promised that he's going to share a story where in Indianapolis they went to St. Elmo's, and it's the only time he ever got in trouble for an expense report from the radio station on that trip. And that's all he was going to say at that point. So he said, if you can get everyone together, you're doing it. All these guys are coming together, man. It's really, really cool. I have a feeling they're going to bring a couple of really cool things for the celebrity auction or the charity auction as well. So we'll see how that goes. Sam, man, I got to thank him again. November 6th, the band is back together. Donate, damn it.
Do it or else.
You know you're losing money on these,
else.
Right? Thanks, Sam, man.
I know where you tweet.
This is why he gets a free room at Senior Bowl. He pays for it through Super Chat.
Got to tally it up. This all goes on to my taxes later. It's a tax scam.
There you go. All right, we got another caller. Caller, what's your name and how much have you had to drink? Hello?
Hello. Sorry, I was turning down the volume on my headphones because it was delayed and it was super confusing. So I have just started my first drink of the day.
Congrats.
It is from Mammoth Distilling. It's a rye, a 12-year-old rye from Traverse City.
Oh,
so
wow. How is it?
Even though it's actually pretty damn good. I picked it up when this is Matt from Seattle, by the way.
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Is it?
Yeah,
it's LaFleur, right? Not Leffler?
No, it's Leffler.
I always get that shit wrong. I am so bad. I shouldn't even try.
It's all right. It's all kinds of Leffler.
How many have you had, Chris?
I haven't had any yet. I'm trying to be less
Too
fat.
much CBD, man. Too much CBD.
You're rubbing it in now, Andy. All right. So, how is the 12-year-old rye is good? What about that game, huh? How about those Lions? They did not disappoint today.
So the thing that I wanted to comment on was after that horrendous display of just lack of anything like commitment or whatever to the team or like continuing to put out effort last week against the Packers, I actually felt like, and this isn't like the normal kind of cop-out thing because I've seen some really bad things happen with teams. I think the fact that the Lions showed up and they played and they didn't give up and they came to play against a really good Cardinals team, it's actually an extremely good sign. And it even goes down to what you were saying about Jesse James. Who the heck thought that guy was going to have any kind of a game? Clearly the Cardinals defense didn't, but I actually think that that's kind of a win.
This is definitely like a team win today, right? I mean, when we're talking about the defense played, the offense played, we're going through these names like crazy. Okudah had a great rookie run against one of the greatest in the pass catchers in the NFL right now. Arawariye, what a game. Tracy Walker blew it up. Didn't hear his name a lot, but had a boatload of tackles. Just nailed it. Stafford, maybe a little off. Kenny Galladay, nailed it. Most of the offensive line, nailed it. Adrian Peterson, looking really good out there. Jesse James, it's name after name after. This is really a team win today. And it's a team that stood up when it would have been real easy for them to kind of toss the coaches aside as well. right? And just say, no, this ain't going to be it. And they stood up and they played. And that says a lot. That does say a lot for these guys and their belief in the team and the system. And even, I mean, Jamie Collins out there with that interception, that just, right? You could just feel it. When that happened, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Something's a little different today.
That's what they signed him for.
Exactly.
It's starting to turn the corner.
Yep.
You know, today's game really put an emphasis on this team as a whole. You know, it just felt a little bit more talented. And I think that it's a good indicator of how coaching can hold a team back or push a team forward. So I feel a little bit better about this team when Matt Patricia's gone at the end of the year, if he's gone.
I'll make you feel real good. It
felt a little bit better, like somebody else could maybe make this work. But at the same time, it is nice to see, you know, the squad reacting and not giving up on this coaching staff and moving forward the way that a team should. That they're fighting for each other still, and they're getting it, you know, they're getting it together, I guess is the way I would put it.
For sure. Super chat from Psychedelic Monk, who's just rocking it out there. Thanks, brother. He's got a new name here for Jeff. He's calling him Jeff the Barracuda. I like that. Jeff Barracuda. That man is going to be special. I agree. I mean, he looked great out there. Again, the thing that's stunning to me is how well he played. I mean, it's effectively, and please don't kill me for this this analogy, but it's, you know, 5 years ago, putting a rookie against Calvin Johnson is kind of the effect you had right there, putting him against DeAndre Hopkins, and then with Kyler Murray there, right? You had a great pair. That's a heck of a game for a kid that young, and what he did today. I am super, super impressed with how well he played. He made mistakes, no questions about it, but he's a damn rookie with no preseason. He looked, with all the things he's facing and this team's facing, he looked great out there. I was happy. All right, Matt, I'm going to let you go, brother. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. That was all I wanted to say.
All right.
You guys have a good one. Thanks for what you're doing. Talk to you soon.
Matt.
All right, man. Enjoy that rye. I gotta say, I got a Blandino. I don't know. I forget. Somebody said something. I said, I just felt like when Dean was doing that touchdown call of Kenny Galladay's, that he was talking right to me. He just tweeted
Dean
out.
knew what he was doing.
Dean,
he knew.
He tweeted out, I was. My man, that's awesome. All right, I gotta say hey to Quentin Quinney. Sandman Lions, is it safe to assume there will be slow lights
for the first time in forever? For the first time in forever, we've had games where there's been enough highlights, maybe, but nobody watches losses. That's just the way it is. Nobody, especially when it's like the 8th one in a row. You'll get some slow lights. Give me a few hours after we log off here, and I'll have something for you in the morning or late at night if you stay up late enough.
Let's talk about that YouTube channel, because you've been hurting on that a long time, man. Can you tell us a little bit about where to find it, name, all that kind of stuff, what to search for?
Yeah, search for Sandman Lions on YouTube. You'll see highlight videos, slow lights, which are kind of a specialty. If you haven't watched slow lights, it's basically highlights, but in slow motion. It allows you to look at the play as a whole a little bit easier. You can watch offensive linemen, defensive linemen, kind of do what they need to do. It's a good way to watch football in a fun way after a win.
I've learned more on your slow lights watching those guys, the lines in slow motion, and what they do. You see stuff that you don't otherwise see by any stretch of the imagination. I gotta tell you guys, go check out Sandman. He was, what were you on, like episode 4 of the podcast? It was
I think so.
Yeah,
early.
So early
adopter.
Yeah. And I remember, because I'll never forget the joke. We were talking about the Silver Dome, right? And I was talking about, remember when you walked out and they had it was the best blowjob you ever got?
Best blowjob, yeah. Somebody opened one door in that place, and yeah.
It was awesome. I'll never forget that. But no, check Sandman's stuff out. It is the greatest stuff on YouTube that's Lions related. I mean, other than these shows, of course, right? But these are best live. All right, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink, my friend?
G'day, Chris. G'day, Sandman. It's James from Australia here. How are we?
Good. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, good. All right. Yeah. Boys, I'm just ecstatic. This is awesome. You finally start to see the pieces come together. I was a bit, down in the dumps last week and just, frustrated. But it's sort of like a big sigh of relief to see the boys actually come together and, pull out a gritty win. Like I reckon they showed a bit today. Like it was awesome. like they've got to get Hockenson more involved. He's just looking so good, and he can take that second year leap that rookie tight ends or second year tight ends can do. He just looks so good in motion. He looked awesome. He looked awesome. And I just want him to get more and more involved and get the tight ends in more involved. Like you see you're paying Jesse James whatever the waste of money that he is, but to see him actually do something the first time in a year and a half is awesome. So that's good. And then there's so many positives with Okudah, he showed a bit, and he's going to make mistakes. He's a first-year corner and going up against the best receiver in the league. So I'm really positive. I loved the game. It was actually worth me getting up at 5 o'clock this morning to watch the game. So.
I will tell you, last year I watched the 4th preseason game of the year via VPN back to the States so I could watch it at 2 a.m. in India.
You're junkie, Chris. You're junkie.
Now you know. Now you know what I have to go
game?
Yep. That's how committed I was, or how much I needed to be committed, one or the other. I didn't haul everything to India though to do a show, because that was just too much, too far. It was a bridge too far.
No, that's what I do this week. Is for those 3 a.m. games, I get up at quarter to 3 every morning, sit down, get ready for the day. Couple of Red Bulls.
More than a couple for me, probably.
Wheeling around with a little IV cart.
Yeah. Holy smokes.
Just drip feed. It's awesome. No, I love this team. It's just awesome. To show what has actually been put together. As much as it's been frustrating at times, and I think the rust is starting to fall off, and I think the boys can start putting it together. And the main thing I was sort of interested is looking actually to next week. Just a lot of Patricia's scheme is wrapped around not letting the big play happen, preventing that big play. I remember watching Drew Brees last week, I think it was, and he just looked shocking. He couldn't throw the ball deep. It's all that underneath stuff. So I'm wondering how they're going to scheme it, so they're going to shift the scheme or whatever they're going to do to prevent Kamara, because obviously he's the engine that keeps the Saints going. How they're going to implement the scheme to prevent that and not let that big play happen. And I think Thomas is, sorry, go on.
No, I think Breeze's average depth of target last week was something like 6 yards, which is insane. That's nothing. You could get a guy off the street to throw 6 yards. But I agree with you that it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it, because they're going to need somebody with a little bit of speed on Kamara. So either they're going to put Davis on Kamara all game, because he's the only linebacker we've got with any speed, or they're going to have to shadow him with Tracy Walker, maybe another defensive back. It's going to be interesting for sure. I always have this feeling, because I'm a Lions fan, that the Saints are going to look bad. They're going to have low average depth of target versus everybody else. And all of a sudden they're going to play the Lions, and there's going to be a bunch of 40-yard passes, that just decimate us because we're playing single high safety or no high safety. But that being said, I do think that Patricia has good scheme ideas. It's whether that scheme idea will actually function with the players he has, and whether he's willing to admit the fact that they work or they don't. So I think next week will be a pretty good indicator of how the rest of this year is going to look, because they already looked like they made a couple adjustments this week.
And that's another thing as well. It was good to see some change. It wasn't just it's the same way, or it's the highway, and we're just going to run this to the ground, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It was good to see some change. So I'm hoping that that trend continues, and we can get another win going into the bye week, and get some. And I was interested as well with the guy at OLine. I thought they would have started Vaitai at tackle and then shifted Crosby inside. But clearly, Vaitai must be a better guard. than he is a tackle. So I don't know if
No.
that's going to change or whether
He's a tackle. He shouldn't have been a guard.
Yeah, it was scary. It was scary out there. You can see the terror in Stafford's eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
At least we didn't see the pain on his face. That's the one we don't want to see. Hey, we're gonna let you go, brother. A lot of people here, and I'm gonna make Sandman, even if the arrow doesn't continue to go up from here for the Lions, and we do have to wipe out this team, I'm gonna make Sandman feel a little better about it right now. Okay.
Okay. Cool. All right, guys. All right.
Thanks again for calling, man. Really appreciate it.
My pants are already off.
All right.
All right, we'll see it. All right, let's see here. All right, this is again. I gotta give Dwight Palmer because he's the one that lit me up here on this one. All right, Romeo Crennel. You remember that name?
How could I forget?
He ran a version of this defense in Kansas City, didn't he? He did. He did. And then he got fired in 2012. After that, in 2013, they hired Andy Reid. And the team went 11-5 the very next year. So we talk about how this defense can't be used by anybody, how this is going to be a wreck of a rebuild. But in Kansas City, with this defense, Andy Reid came in, and they turned around to an 11-5 year. Now, I'm not saying it can't be done, but I'm going to add just a little other twig to that fire, okay? And then we can think about it. Eric Bieniemy is one of the thoughtful people as a possible future Lions coach, replacement for the current coach here, who might know a thing or two about Andy Reid's style and might bring a little bit of that thought process in that could help us maybe go to 10-6, maybe 9-7, which would be good enough at this point after that. So the whole concept of losing Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn, and then it's a massive rebuild after that. Maybe not the case. What do you think?
Well, I think we had our own kind of experience with that, didn't we? In 2014, Caldwell came in, and the defense that looked stagnant all of a sudden
the wide
was
nine,
the number one defense.
Yeah.
Got rid of the wide nine. Got rid of that bullshit. All the defensive linemen that they've been drafting finally got utilized properly.
Right.
But I think
this is the Lions.
I said it a little bit earlier, but a game like this where the individual players just looked better, regardless of scheme. Jamie Collins looked more like Jamie Collins, where he hadn't the first 2 weeks. Deshaun Hand had his name called a few times, and he was absent the first 2 weeks. I think stuff like that kind of gives you a little bit of hope that there's more talent here to work with than maybe we're seeing. And, that's kind of an indictment on Matt Patricia to an extent. But, maybe we don't need to have a full blow up. But we'll see.
We'll see. Again, all I'm talking about...
The hope is alive.
This doesn't necessarily mean a 3-year disaster after these guys are gone. Right. What I'm saying is it can be done. Okay. It has been done. There's actually a historical precedent with the I won't say the exact same, but the very, 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 very similar defense. There's a precedent of that happening. Right. Is our organization competent enough? Are we able to get the right people in? I'm not sure, but it can be done. And we'll go with that. There's another angle we can take with this team after here that it doesn't have to be terrible. Hey, caller, what's your name? How many you had to drink so far?
Hey, this is Chris R.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Really, really, really good.
All right.
Definitely really pleased with the passion, the effort, the heart. I talked about this last week, how it looked like we just kind of pretty much gave up in the second half. And this week we didn't. We really just kind of fought for the whole 60 minutes, and it resulted in a win. And that's what I want to see from this team above all else, really. I mean, win or lose, just play for 60 minutes, give it your all, give it your best. If you lose because of a fluke play or a turnover, what have you, oh well, at least we tried. And today we tried and we won. So definitely really happy with just the effort, the passion, the heart, the fight that this team showed above all else today. And I think that's really the most important and why I'm so happy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good game. It's Victory Sunday, Victory Monday, and we got to tie this together into another week. Against the Saints, it's going to be hard, and this is where I think fans are going to get shook a little bit after this. After when we play the Saints, I don't expect necessarily a win, especially how they're handling the Packers tonight. But if this team plays like they did today as a team, and they all show up, and we see a little bit of improvement from Okudah, we see a little bit of improvement from the rest of the guys, we see that next step from Matthew coming back and shaking the rust. We could see some. I may be happy next week, and I'm going to say that sounds weird, but I may be happy with a close loss to the Saints next week if I see the right things happening with this team. And that sounds really, really, really weird because wins are the obviously the most important stat, but I can see a way to that. But again, like I just told Andy, there's a path if things go wrong, so we're okay. People said in the chat, I saw, you pick up Patrick Mahomes. Hey, if things go wrong enough, we'll have Trevor Lawrence, right? I mean, we're in a race with the Jets here, but we'll see how that goes, right? All right, Chris, we're gonna let you go. Go ahead. Go. I'll give you one more real quick. We got a bunch of people banging on the door here.
Yeah, just shouting out everyone in the DLP chat. That was a fun day. Definitely had a lot of fun, guys. Really looking forward to more games this year, and have a fantastic rest of the night. Go Lions. Love you guys.
All right. Thank you, man. Love you too, brother.
Later, man.
All right. Good stuff. All right. Call. Just missed the call. All right. No biggie. We'll pick you up. Give us a call. 248-782-8384. 248-782-8384 while we're waiting for that to roll back in. Here he is. Oh, there's a lot of them coming. Hey, how you doing, caller? How many have you had? What's your name? All right, I'll hit the button this time. Hey, caller, how many have you had? What's your name?
Nothing. But my name is Sean. Yeah,
Sean.
no, that was a good game.
Yeah. No, this may be exactly what we need, is a little bit of sobriety here.
I do typically like to enjoy my Sundays nice and sober so I can fully witness the sadness that is normally the Lions.
Oh, do you have a dungeon?
Yeah.
I just curious question.
Timed locks on the doors. Yeah.
Locks on the outside of the door.
Yeah. But I did want to call out something is if you look at kind of the stats of Stafford over those 3 games, you see kind of a marked improvement in terms of how he's performing. If you look at his QBR stats, he goes from a 77 to a 91 to 119. And when a quarterback is scoring over 100, that's normally pretty positive view of kind of how their play was. And I kind of feel like a lot of people have been pretty negative on his overall play. And I think, he had a couple hard throws where he was definitely putting a little bit too much juice in the end zone.
Yeah.
And we definitely could have gotten those. But, outside of kind of a couple give me plays, which probably are give me for just Stafford and a few other quarterbacks, but almost nobody else, I actually thought he played relatively decent. Like, this was within the realm of Stafford's here. He's a good quarterback. He's going to make an occasional mistake, but he actually did a pretty darn good job.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing about Matthew Stafford. The arm strength is still there. Did you see him break Buda Baker's other hand?
Yes, that was the other thing I was going to say. Yes, exactly. And that was perfect. Is that throw, and as soon as I saw him going on the sidelines and with his hand and everything, I was just cheering. I was just like, you need to be punished. If you're going to stop that pass, there's the punishment. All right.
Calvin Johnson will show you the hands to show you don't ever get in the way of one of those.
Bent fingers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, but I agree to an extent that Stafford, to me, hasn't looked like a problem per se. We've had a couple sacks that probably shouldn't have been taken, or there's arguments for those, that bad interception that he threw. But I think this is also the first game where Stafford didn't need to be the guy to bring us back from the brink. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The first 2 games, and this has been a problem for Stafford his entire career. And part of it is that he was leaned on so heavily his first couple years here that, I think it's probably ingrained in him at this point. But he doesn't need to be a savior anymore, or he shouldn't have to be a savior anymore. And when we have games where that's obvious, I think that's when we start to see him, be a little bit better. We saw the last drive of the game. There was a couple very Lionsy opportunities, right, where he throws a 58-yarder, gets called back by a holding. That's the kind of play that in the past, that's a killer. That drives over. Doesn't matter what happens after that. But Stafford stayed calm. He made the passes he needed to make to Marvin Jones. Marvin broke a tackle, took us out of the hole. And, you know, I think that that's undervalued, a quarterback that can do that. And, you know, we have a quarterback that can do that, and we should be thankful.
You make a great point, as always, Sandman. That's why I love you so much. Matthew Stafford, well, despite you know the knocks that he's taken in this show and whatever for the last couple of weeks, in this game he did what Kyler Murray couldn't. He took the team down to score what was needed to win the game, and Kyler Murray couldn't do that at the end of the game. And it wasn't the crazy Matthew Stafford heroics, you know, quote unquote garbage time wins, anything like that. This was he confidently took the team down. He faced adversity with the hold call, the callback, and he took the team down to a position where they could win the game. And there's a lot to be said for a guy who can do that, and it's an absolute NFL quarterback trait. And we burned a lot of clock. We managed the clock so well doing that. I was just, again, team game, but he stood in there and he did what Kyler Murray couldn't do at that end of that game, and deserves a heck of a lot of credit for being able to do that.
Absolutely. Well, and you know, I also really liked the time management. This was one of the few games where I'm actually like really watching and loving what I'm seeing, right? Like so many times I feel like we're calling the timeout with there's like 2 minutes and 40 seconds, I feel like, and we're like, hey, let's call a timeout. It's like, no, we can get down the field in 30 seconds. We don't need to save clock at 2 minutes and 40. And they actually ran it down, I think, until a minute was left on the clock. And I really appreciated kind of that. And then the one other thing that I wanted to call out, and I feel like he's kind of been getting a pass, and you know he had a couple breakout plays each of the games, but just that is Marvin Jones. Like Marvin Jones has almost been completely silent these 3 games. Like he's get one good pass that saves a drive, and that's it. And I don't want to put all of the woes of Stafford onto a single player like that, but if we didn't have Kenny Golladay, and if Marvin is, I don't know, is he 80% of what he used to be last season? It just feels like he's lost a little bit of a step. That if you don't have a target to throw to, it's kind of hard to be a quarterback in the NFL. And I honestly feel like Marvin Jones and Kenny Golladay would be 2s on most other teams. That maybe has a negative viewpoint on our wide receiver and maybe too much on Stafford, but I actually kind of think that they wouldn't be the number 1 on any other team outside of Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, top 10 to top 5 quarterback.
I will tell you, you're exactly right. And I'm going to refer to the Patriots game today because that's what we do in Lions Land right now with Quinn and Patricia. Who's Harry and who's the other guy, right? They're wide receivers, except Edelman, right? I mean, that's their wide receiver. The other guys, if they can catch it, great. It's an interesting approach to the game, and I feel like, for Matthew, having a Calvin type of receiver changes this whole offense. Golladay looks spectacular out there, right? He did exactly what, and even Jesse James had a great game today for Jesse James, right? He looked good out there. Amendola early had a nice catch. Swift, if he could flex those shoulder blades a little more, he could have caught that ball. But mostly catching the ball was great. But you're right, Marvin Jones has been silent, and I don't know if that's because they were shutting him down. Peterson was on him. I don't know exactly what was going on. We'll have to watch that as the games go on. But it was definitely Golladay that was the guy that if they didn't bracket him in the crossing route, he was open and he was getting the ball.
Well,
Absolutely.
and Stafford needs a safety blanket. He's a quarterback that needs that. And I think that when he was drafted by Mayhew, they knew that, and that's why they took Brandon Pettigrew so soon thereafter.
Yep.
When you have a Calvin Johnson, that's a permanent safety blanket while he's on the field. I think Golladay is similar, that Stafford knows that he can kind of toss a few up if he needs to in a pinch. Someone's bearing down on him, he just kind of toss it over, and Golladay will make something happen.
Yep.
But we were hoping that that Hawkinson would be able to do that, that Swift might be able to do that. But so far, I kind of agree that he hasn't really had a safety blanket, and Marvin Jones is doing what Marvin Jones does, which is disappear when he is not facing the number 2 corner.
Yep.
He'll get his scheme opens, but he really doesn't get separation. And when you're Matthew Stafford and you're trying to make a quick decision, the guy that's got a guy right on his back is generally not the choice.
I'll tell you one other thing that affected the play calling today was, and likely how they used Marvin Jones as well. You didn't see Kenny Galladay doing a whole lot of verticals. There was a whole boatload of crossing routes. I have a feeling they were being a little extra careful on that hammy and not using full Kenny Galladay out there. God, I can't speak. And Marvin Jones was taking a little bit of that. And that's why he was covered, because he just doesn't do well in that role, right? That's not how he plays well. So it may be a little bit of getting Kenny back into full strength and healthy and doing his thing. So again, if we can do this with Kenny, with a fully healthy Kenny going vertical, that changes the game up. We may see more from Marvin in that case, and still have a Kenny that's getting some long balls. So this offense still has things to reveal, I think.
Yep, and
Absolutely.
long balls open everything up. They open up screens. They open up run game. They open up tight ends. It's definitely been missed the first 2 weeks.
All right. Hey, brother, we're going to let you go, okay?
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks for the
it.
call,
Thank
man.
you.
I appreciate it. See, I told you, we just needed a little bit of sobriety and everything will be okay. That was a good call. Good call. All right. One more. Let's see what we got here. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much you had to drink so far?
This is John D. from North Carolina, and I haven't had enough to drink, I'd say.
Here, have a glass of Kool-Aid.
My
It's
man.
Victory Sunday, my friend.
Should be celebrating more. I'm generally a Kool-Aid supplier. I'm actually here with the pitcher of Kool-Aid to save Sandman from becoming an SOL fan. I can see him spiraling down there slowly year after year. We're getting closer and closer, Andy. It's terrifying me.
Yeah, this is how I feel all the time. Just
I mean, look, man. Like, everybody was so quick the first two games to jump on the Tank for Trevor Fire Patricia bandwagon. And after the game today, I feel like nobody's hopping off yet. Everybody's still, I haven't seen enough. Oh, I don't know. This and that's a problem. Mostly you, Andy. Come on,
Yep.
man. Get some Kool-Aid. Let's go, buddy. Like, you didn't expect to beat this team, and they totally beat them. They outplayed them.
I've been
You
hurt
didn't see that
before.
coming. Yeah, I trust you. I believe you. How much money are we backing up to Galladay's house now today? After today,
We need him
How
to
big
run.
is that dump truck?
We need him to go vertical first and catch some balls, and then we'll start thinking about the Brinks truck.
Dude, did you see that touchdown catch? Who else on that team is making that touchdown catch?
Nobody.
No.
Everybody else is walking
Nobody.
away with
And that's
ball
when he
burns in
brings
between their
Galladay-
hands.
I mean, Case isn't here to
Clip
hear me
that.
yell at him about this because you know how he'd be. But after today, I was on Case's boat. If I don't want to pay Galladay that much money, after today, pay Galladay some money. Like, this team is like, without Galladay, we don't win that football game. Like, pay the man some money. I'm sold now. I'm switching my tune.
All right.
I think Galladay's important. I think that not having a true wide receiver number one, like, it's an impossible thing for Stafford to overcome. There's some quarterbacks that can do it. Aaron Rodgers has been doing it, but man, that's a hard task for any quarterback. So once Galladay's out there, it really does take the offense from like a C+ to a B+, with the opportunity
I
to
know
be
you
better.
guys were arguing last call about whether Galladay or Marvin was a number one. I think Galladay has shown he's a number one. He's maybe not the top 5 number one, but the offense definitely functions differently with and without him. And I think that, like, look, Cephas played a lot of targets in week 1 to the Bears that we barely lost. If Galladay's in there instead of Cephas, we win that game, I think, pretty handily. Like, you guys were arguing about whether or not he's a number one last call. I think that he's worth paying at this point is one of the things I think. But the other thing I think is that everybody needs to hop onto the Patreon and pitch in a couple bucks, because that's where we have these intelligent conversations about whether or not it's worth paying Galladay some money. And I want to give a shout out to Greg because he just had a kid, and we were celebrating that in the Slack this week, and that was a pretty cool thing to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really, really cool deal. And I'll send the check for the Patreon, patreon.com/Detroit Lions podcast if you'd like to join. As little as $1 a month, you get donate. This funds Andy and my trip too. Gives Andy a place to sleep along with his super chats for the Senior Bowl training camp parties, all that stuff. So it's really helpful. We appreciate you guys, all the folks who join and do that. So there you go. John, thank you so much. I appreciate the read. Like I said, I'll get a check over there.
Chris, you have the right notion. I'm not fully on board with Patricia yet. I'm with you. You have to give him until the November 1st line. Like you got the right message. You keep shouting from the rooftops. Save Sandman from falling into SOL fandom. He's better than Andy. You're better than that. We can save you. Chris is right. You got to get, like, if you're willing to throw him under the bus after 2 weeks when we should have won one of those games, give him a little credit for pulling this one out. Drink a little sip of Kool-Aid. Give it a little time. You know, everybody expected us to win one of these games. Well, we won one of them. Let's see where it goes. Listen to Chris. He'll save you from the misery. We'll get there. All right. Take care, guys.
All right. Thanks a lot. At least we can get drunk together, Andy.
Yeah.
All right. I think, buddy. Oh, Psychedelic Monk with another one. Smooth as butter. Segue to the caller. How about that? I like that. We're working on it. One day we will be professionals, good enough for the radio. Thank you for the super chat, Psychedelic Monk and God, man. You're a great supporter. Really appreciate it. Any last thoughts, Sam, that you want to cover on the team, the game, the victory Sunday or beyond?
You know, trying not to be too big of a negative Nancy here. But this was a close game, and winning close games is a part of the NFL. You have to win close games if you're going to be successful. But close games generally don't happen when you've got a +3 turnover ratio, when the offense seems to be doing okay. So I think we've still got room to grow as a team. I'm looking forward to seeing that next week versus the Saints. Hopefully Vaitai will get it all figured out. And hopefully Jesse James will continue to earn his money. That's I'm looking forward to that. Get it done.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's got a lot to make up for, Jesse James, this year. And I hope to anything that he does, I certainly would love to see him earn that.
Hang in there.
The best part. Sorry, folks, on the audio. This is a YouTube thing. Hang in there. So deadpan. Oh my goodness. All right, I think we're gonna call it a show. Andy, as always, man, thank you so much for showing up. Appreciate it. Love you on the show. Everybody, you're an absolute favorite on the post game show, and you bring so much. I love the yin and the yang that we have. Don't let them get you down. You could be a same old Lions guy as much as you want. You're not, though. You're a smart cat. You're a smart cat. Don't let them fool you. All right, we'll take a look at this. Here we go. All right, remember, show needs your involvement. Use the comments in the subreddit to give us your feedback. We use those to get better. If you're one of the slack-jawed mouth breathers, that's great. You can do that. We're not gonna hurt my feelings. But constructive criticism all day. We love it. We'll have a great conversation. We're down with that. Don't forget about us on the Patreon, patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast, patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. A little $1 a month gets you to the most intelligent Lions chat on the internet, period. And you give a little more, hey, it helps us out more, helps us do more with the show. All right, check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/The Detroit Lions Podcast. We're on Twitter at DET Lions Podcast, DET Lions Podcast. Give us a follow. That's where all the news, if we're going to have a show, not have a show, anything's going to happen, it's there. DET Lions Podcast. It's the very best place to see Andy
with no pants on.
That's right. Because it's called Skype, Detroit Lions Podcast, all one word, Detroit Lions Podcast. Also, you can call us on the Lions line at 929-33-LIONS, 929-335-4667, and go to Detroit Lions Podcast, subscribe to the podcast so we can show up in your ears auto-magically. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to see you next time on the Detroit Lions Podcast. Remember, I'm going to say it again anyway. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. So be good to each other. Remember, no pants, no toasters, no hot tubs, no problems. Because we are your Detroit Lions and Reddit Connection.